And we can go right to the root issue in this country. It's the military industrial complex. And it's the sort of impetus and arrogance and brazenness to steal your money and give you some boogeyman to justify it. Right now, it's Russia. Amy Klobuchar thinks the same way about Russia that Mark Levin does. What's the difference between them? There isn't any. There isn't any. They're going to steal your fucking money, and they're going to tell you you should like it. No, nay, it's essential. It's an emergency. This situation is grave. Well, what do I give a fuck if Vladimir Putin? What do I give a fuck if Vladimir Putin takes Poland, Romania, and the Balkan states? Honestly, I mean, let's just get down. Let's go all the way. What do I give a flying fuck if Vladimir Putin invades Poland, Romania, and the rest of the Balkan states? Not our problem. Not our problem. The Balkan states have people. They have a polity. Romania has a polity. Poland has a polity. These wars have been fought before. They had to fight off Hitler. They had to fight off Napoleon. They had to fight off Stalin. They had to fight off. There was a Prussian Empire. There was a Turkish Empire. The Ottomans. They've had wars and empires in this part of the world for a long time. French to Charlemagne, Constantine. I mean, this is not a place that's new. The British Empire. Okay, this is not a place that's new to military conflict and in sort of a regional, a regional jump ball. Why does America have to be the arbiter of everybody else's bullshit? And why do we have to pay for it? That's the real question. And again, going back to my comment about being a bodyguard, maybe you guys want to follow people who will pay to be a bodyguard, but I'm not following people like that. Maybe Mark Levin wants to pay to be a bodyguard. Maybe Amy Klobuchar wants to pay to be a bodyguard. Maybe Nikki fucking Haley wants to pay to be a bodyguard. But where I'm from, in the small little Rondo community of St. Paul, Minnesota, if I'm going to be a bodyguard, I'm going to be the one to get paid. We're paying to protect these people. America, you, the American people, you hold up the whole deal. It's all on your back. It's all on your dollars. You're paying. Don't get it confused. You will pay. And that's why I said, you guys, when you talk about reparations, you're paying reparations. You're paying, you just don't see how the money's getting siphoned off, how it's getting explained. You don't see how the line items are getting, are getting justified. You don't see the narrative, the macro narrative, the super narrative that informs the way that they steal the money. But in the same breath that they tell you white supremacy is the greatest threat to everyone here in America and all around the world, they are literally defending a colonial Atlanticist political framework. In one breath, they tell you white supremacy is the great danger of the world. In the next breath, they defend the British Empire and the Atlanticist great game that's waged on between Europe and Russia for hundreds of years. And that's how stupid they think you are. That's how stupid they think you are. They think you're dumb enough to tell you two completely contradictory narratives at the exact same time. In fact, that's exactly what I think they mock you. I actually think they're mocking you. I think they laugh when they do it. I think that's why Amy Klobuchar has that stupid fucking smirk on her face. And I think that's why Mark Levin has that little fucking, dweeby kind of tone to his voice. Overeducated, underintelligent, mealy-mouthed motherfuckers. That's why Nikki Haley has that stupid looking smile on her face when she goes up to talk to the American people. They're mocking you. And when they come off stage and they go back behind closed doors with their political consultants and their experts and whoever else, they're laughing at you. They're laughing at the American people. They know that they can tell you whatever they need to tell you. In fact, they tell you the most contradictory things just to see your brain split apart and you get lost in the shuffle. I really think they're doing that. That's the psyop. Let's see how contradictory of a narrative we can tell the American people and still have them buy into it. Up is down and down is up at the same time, and you people will buy it. And then there'll be a flat earth. I mean, and I'm not saying, look, this is what I'm saying. It's all a psyop. It really is. It's a well-funded, well-organized, well-serviced psyop. They're going to tell you white supremacy is the greatest threat to freedom all around the world. Meanwhile, they defend the Ukraine, which, just historically speaking, does have a significant Nazi culture in their recent history. It's like, that's not arguable. In fact, I mean, the Azov Battalion and other Nazis, it's not arguable. It is what it is. But even more broadly, the entire European Union and their sovereignty, their territorial integrity. Aren't the Europeans the ones who promulgated this colonial racism all around the world? Why are we paying all of our tax money to defend them? The two things don't square by their own standards. And I'm not saying that we should abandon Europe because they were the progenitors of colonial racism and drug slavery piracy, although the British Empire was. I'm not saying that we should abandon them on those grounds. I'm not saying that we should even consider the white supremacy thing because that's a scam. But who is stupid enough to believe both stories simultaneously? You, they're in the audience. You can put in the comments, "Oh, I'm not stupid," and I'm not talking to you. If you get it, you get it. But the broad American populace obviously doesn't get it. They obviously don't see it, and that's what we need to do. We need to get through to them. Hey, wake up, wake the fuck up. Why do I care what happens to Poland or the Balkan states or Romania? I can have an opinion. I can feel the way I feel about it morally and ethically. You know, I can think about the conflict from any number of viewpoints. But when push comes to shove, why do we have to pay to be a bodyguard or a bouncer for the whole world? I'll tell you why they want to pay. They want to pay to be the bouncer. They want to pay to be the bodyguard. They want to pay to be the arbiter of all these geopolitical issues because it justifies using the United States dollar as a tool against people who won't bend to the agenda. That's why they want to pay. The only reason you will pay to be a bodyguard at a local bar or at a local nightclub is because you think the access to that club or bar is more valuable than the money that you're paying. It's an investment to you. And that's exactly what it is. We are invested in being the world's police. We are invested in being the bodyguard of the post-World War II democratic liberal order because the post-World War II democratic liberal order hedges on America's dollar being the reserve currency and thus being entangled in everybody else's issues and ultimately vulnerable to the ebbs and flows of the international community, which it shouldn't be, which it doesn't need to be. It could be sovereign, it could be independent, it could be self-sufficient, it could be built on a base of American manufacturing and ingenuity. And all these people who set it up this way, like the Mark Levins of the fucking world, they knew exactly what they were doing. But they'll talk about the Constitution. I don't buy it. How can you say you're a constitutionalist and pretend to be this great patriot, but you're involved in an ideology that obviously undermines the integrity and sovereignty and overall prosperity of American citizens? What does it serve us? What does it serve us to fight a 10 to 20 year, another Cold War with Russia? What does it serve us?